How's it going, guys? I'm here with Taylor. My name is Anwar, and I wanted to do a quick vlog on some of the stuff that we're doing here. And I got a special guest with me, Mr. Tyler, and we're going to talk a lot about him and where he came. And we actually did a deal together. We want to talk about that and some of the great things about real estate wholesaling, some of the pitfalls that we went through in real estate wholesaling, and the type of material marketing that we did to get this particular deal. This deal that we just did, we did about what, 2 months, like a month ago, we closed on it or something like that.
Yeah, a month ago.
Yeah. So Taylor, so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, how long you've been in real estate, and then we'll take it from there.
All right. Hey guys. Yeah, my name is Taylor Berg. If anybody wants to get a hold of me, Instagram, Taylor Berg, TAYLORBERG_REI. That's how you can reach me. Excited to do this with you and kind of share the knowledge and how we got it done.
Yeah, definitely awesome. Yeah. So how long you been in real estate? It'll be good background for everyone.
So I learned about wholesaling and real estate. I mean, obviously I've heard about real estate investing in the past, but I heard about wholesaling and I heard about kind of actual tactical steps on how I might be able to get involved with real estate back in March. And I started taking action.
2020 or 2021?
Right when COVID started, 2020.
Right, okay.
Yep. So, so I've been taking action about May 2000, May 2021. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So you started getting some information on wholesaling in May, right? And so how many deals have you done since you started?
I just closed this month deal number 10.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a year already, and you've already closed 10. I mean, a lot of people don't even close their first deal in their first year. So that's pretty sweet, man. So you're on to something really good. So now, what would you attribute that success to? Because like I said, a lot of people don't even close their first deal until like maybe years after sometimes.
Yeah, I know. And it's crazy. I think starting out, I had unrealistic expectations. And I think that actually helped me. Mm-hmm. But in June, I joined a mentorship program called TTP with Brent Daniels. And it was really good. It's a good starter. It's a program. And what it really did was give me the confidence and the tenacity and the mindset started, that's when I really started, because it's really mindset. Everything is mindset. It really is, in the self-development and in believing in yourself and getting your thoughts, your mindset and your thoughts right. So that's the most difficult part about it, I would say. But that's how I started. So then I had a plan. I learned and so cold calling has been my only marketing channel. I did a little bit of bandit signs, but those were kind of like more or less one-offs. My bread and butter is cold calling. Yeah.
Okay, so you joined a mentorship in June, mm-hmm. and then that kind of took off. Where is that when you started closing deals, or have you had already closed a deal before that?
No, I got in. I would say my first one was, I don't know, like everybody's first deal, there had to have been maybe a little bit of luck involved. I mean, there's obviously hard work because I was shaking. I didn't even know how to fill out the contract, but I got it and I got it closed. And so that it took me a few months, 3 months, about 4 months actually into mentorship, to get my first deal. And then it was another, 2.5 months for the next one.
Okay, that's awesome, man. Yeah, because the reason why I want to make that important because there's a lot of people they Google wholesale and they'll watch some free YouTube videos that are very basic, and they just think that, okay, this is what I need. And then they go out there and do it, and then they know that it's not that easy, and then they just kind of give up. Sometimes when you have that one-on-one mentorship, it goes a long way, someone that can help you go through certain steps and whatnot. So someone that's done it a million times can definitely teach you how to do it at least 10 times. Anyways, okay, great. So you took the mentorship, you started doing deals. And then, so now I want to kind of get into like, okay, so now we did a deal together. So fast forward this year, 2021, 2 months, 2 to 3 months ago, you had called me because you had a lead that you were working with. So let's get into like how you got that lead, and then, we'll take it from there.
Okay. Yeah. So just to be, I don't think I mentioned, I should have mentioned this at first. My market and where I live is in what's called Mid Hudson Valley, New
Okay.
York. So we're about me and Anwar are about 3.5 hours away.
Yeah.
And I've done, um, all my deals here, and I haven't expanded my market at all. So basically, yeah, I do cold calling here. That's how I got that's how I've done all my deals. When I got started, I really didn't know what I was doing still. I still needed some help other than like this mentorship from a guy in Arizona. So I reached out to a guy. I called his bandit sign and I said, hey, listen, you know, um, let me add some value to you. Let me put some bandit signs out for you, and then and when you can teach me some things and we can do deals together. And he said okay, and he taught me. So that's I learned how to. Silly enough, it sounds like putting out bandit signs doesn't there's no rhyme or reason to it, but there is actually, because the city workers take them down,
Yeah.
competition take it down. So you get a pole with a slap stapler, put them up real high, you zip tie them to
Cool.
signs. And so I learned where to put them. You want to put them at intersections instead of, right off the highway when you're flying by. Nobody will be able to read the number. So, shopping centers. So there is a strategy to it. So I learned that. And this deal that me and you did together was from a bandit sign.
Yeah.
So how that happened was, my wife lives in the same, or my wife is from, she grew up in the same town that you live in, Anwar. So she was up there. I think there was a baby shower or something that my wife had to do or went to for the day, and it was on a Saturday. And so I said, okay, I know this is coming up on the calendar. So I went online and I bought just actually the cheap little bandit signs, 12 by 18s. And I got this box of 100 bandit signs in the back that I got for $99, including shipping and tax. And I dropped her off early in the morning, and I learned, I asked her, where the hot places are, where everyone likes to live. There's Fitchburg, obviously Leominster was right there. I wanted to stay kind of in that little niche there.
Right.
And there was the Clinton and Albert, Ashburnham, I think, a couple others. I don't even know that market very well, but I just went there. I put 100 of them out. It took me,
Wow.
all day. I
Yeah.
put them, I put them up, in great areas too. I wasn't just like throwing them around. I was putting them up at nice intersection everywhere that.
So did you wake up like in the middle of the night, like everybody recommends, at 5 in the morning, so nobody's around, and then put them up on like on a Sunday morning or something like that, or broad day, like in the 2 o'clock in the afternoon? What'd you do?
Nah, you just got to own it, man. It is nice to wake up really early or do them in the middle of the night, because you can kind of just throw your hazards on and park in the intersection instead of finding a little parking lot and running out with the sign. But I just owned it, man, and I put up quite a few of them, so
Nice.
nobody gives you
Okay.
any grief. I put them up. If somebody wants to give you some trouble, whatever, take it down and keep it moving. But yeah, I put them up all over the place, and I mostly got calls from some investors, some other people maybe who already had the house listed with an agent who's thinking maybe I would buy their house. I got quite a few bad leads
Yeah. You always get a
from
lot
it.
of those when you get bandit sides. You get all random people calling. Now, was your bandit side the one that had no area code, or did it have an area code?
No, no area codes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is great. This is great. But because listen to this. I'm driving around with my wife, right? And we're driving, we see these bandit signs with no area codes. I'm like, what is this guy's mentality putting no area codes in his bandit side? So tell me, now that I'm talking to the actual person that put those
Yeah.
up, tell me if that was on purpose or there was a strategy to it,
Hmm.
whether or not you put an area code on it.
Yeah, there is a little strategy to it. I could have gone with the bigger, the standard size bandit signs, and I could have fit the area code on there. But if I would have put an area code on those little ones, you wouldn't be able to read that number.
Oh,
You would
okay.
have been real close to it. So my bandit sign said really big on top, cash, and then in small print it said for your, and then house was big, and then the phone number was big.
Yep.
But I figure people have enough common sense to use their area code and if not, I mean, it was,
Okay.
that's what I did. I didn't,
So it was
I got
because
a little bit.
you were trying to be conservative on the postcard. You didn't want to spend the extra $2 on the bandit sign or whatever it is per bandit sign.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay, now I can tell my wife why you didn't add the area code to it. So I'm driving over there and I'm like, dude, why can't you just the extra 3 phone numbers so people know if it's a 508, 617? But hey, it worked because we just closed the deal. So anyway, so continue on. So tell me now, you were getting a bunch of dead leads that were coming in, but someone had called you. And so let's talk about this lead.
Okay. Yeah. So Gene called and he said, hey, listen, I got a house that I'm interested in selling. I'm driving at the time. I said, okay, well, I'm away from my laptop right now, but I'm not gonna be able to write anything down, but let's talk. Let's see what's going on. See if I can help you here. See if there's anything we can do. And so I just talked to him. I asked him the address. I asked him what was going on, the timeline, how long he wanted until he was ready to sell right now. He was in the middle of fixing it up. So check out of the 4 pillars. There's a condition check, timeline check, motivation was there. He wanted to sell it because he owns his own business, and it's a summertime business really. So he was slamming, he was busy, so he didn't have the time, and I think to pull his guys or to find guys to work on it. So I got 1, 2, 3 out of the 4, and then the price. I got the price out of him. I said, I had to ask him a few times, but you always want to get the price out of them first. So I think he told me, what was it, 150?
Yeah, you had mentioned 150 when you talked to me, that he said 150. Yeah. So he got you the price and you saw that he was truly a motivated lead. So how did you go about finding me? How did you go about doing that? Because you're like, okay, great, I have a lead in Massachusetts. Now I gotta maybe partner up with someone in Massachusetts. Was that your mentality? And walk us through that.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly, especially when you're starting out, because I'm still new, you know what I mean? And especially to this new market. I mean, I don't have any contacts to investor friendly attorneys, title companies, buyers, any of that. So I don't hesitate at all. I mean, if I had to do all that on my own, I probably would have killed the deal trying to close on my own, find a buyer, find in a title.
Yeah, because you got to start all over again. Like if you did in your own market. Sometimes it makes sense to kind of partner up with someone in one market so that you can both together. Someone that's already seasoned that market. Both together can make the deal go through a lot easier. So 100%. You decided, okay. So you said, I don't want to rework the market over there. So I want to partner up with somebody. So you ended up finding me through online, right? I think you Googled we buy houses or something like that, or how did you come across me?
Yeah, so basically I Googled we buy houses, Leominster, Massachusetts, and I got there was the franchise, what is that, investor, ugly houses, yep. Investor Pros or whatever it is, yeah. And I didn't want to mess with them because I know that they're like a franchise and they take like 50% cut or whatever. So right there, I knew I didn't want to mess with them. So I found good reviews. I saw a nice website, and then I called and I guess it was some sort of an interview, I guess, just to see if you were legit and, you seem like a good, honest guy, because let's be honest, a lot of the investors aren't,
No, and a lot of people say they're seasoned investors. They're like, yeah, I'll take the deal. I got buyers. They've probably never done a deal before in their life, so that I've experienced that as well. Okay, so you found me, and then we clicked. You interviewed me. You found out that I was a credible person, and then I think we kind of talked about the deal. You shared the address. We signed the JV agreement, right? I think I sent you a JV agreement.
Yeah.
And so I think at the end of the day, we said, okay, let's get the deal on the contract, right? And then you went ahead and got the deal on the contract with the seller, right? And then so to walk us through how that went, and then we'll lead into like the closing and what happened between then and the closing.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure. I think it was right about, I don't know if it was right before, or right after we talked that I locked him up. I think, but I didn't have a Massachusetts. Like I said, I don't have an attorney. I did have like a universal 1-page contract
Right.
that I knew in a pinch would work. It wouldn't be the best idea, I guess, but so I docu-signed that over to him.
Mm-hmm.
Got him locked out. I also got some photos of, beforehand, which weren't, it's always good to take pictures yourself. But
Yeah, sellers, for some reason, in my experience, sellers, whenever they take pictures are the most, it's like asking my 95-year-old grandma to take pictures.
it's bad.
It's like, it's so bad. They're all blurry. Like they'll take a picture of like of an odd place, like of the corner of the house. What is this? Anyways, okay, so you had him
Yeah.
take pictures, send them over to you. You signed the contract, and then he signed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then was it then that we signed the JV agreement with me, or was it before then? It was then, right? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's when it was. So you sent it over. Everything looked good, and then you say, you had a good buyers list. Things were looking good. So then something transpired where I think maybe the attorney or the title company was like, okay, we need to get like a state approved contract for Massachusetts. So we ended up sending that out, and we got him to sign that. I think actually you took over a lot of the negotiations and the
Yeah, so
follow-ups with him.
let's rewind. Yeah, so we had to sign the purchase and sales agreement with the seller, because we had him on the contract. We had so I blasted it out to my buyers, and I had a ton of people that wanted to go in there and make an offer. So I had an open house for the property. I brought all my buyers in. That same day, one of the buyers that was there was like, okay, I want it full asking price. Let's get it done, right? So then we said, okay, great. Send him the contract to my buyer. He signed it. He dropped off the deposit the same day to me. So everything was gravy, right? At some point, so we were going to close in about 2 to 3 weeks. I think it was scheduled on the original contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere along the line, the seller decided that he didn't want to sell. He was trying to like maybe get out of it, because I believe he might have gotten a higher offer from somewhere else. That's the only reason why I could think of, because then he started saying that he wanted more money, right?
Yeah.
And then so me and Taylor got on the phone together, and we were talking about it, how we should go about it. Meanwhile, my buyer was, still planning on purchasing the property, but then we had this issue with Gene that he wanted back out, but in the end of the day, he wanted more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he wanted a ridiculous amount.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were threatening him to like sue him, and going through all these variables, and he didn't want to sell and whatnot. And then at the end of the day, I was able to negotiate with him like an extra $10,000, which we still would net a good money. I think our spread from there was still $12,000, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, total gross. So I mean, it was still a good deal, and we brought the deal back alive, had him sign the new purchase and sales agreement, which is the one you're talking about, the standard one in Massachusetts.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we closed it, right? So we brought a deal that was like dead, like in the middle of it. We had everything lined up. We had the attorney lined up doing the title search. We had the buyer that put this deposit, signed the contract. The seller was lined up, but during the middle of it, he wanted to back out, and he wanted more money, a ridiculous amount. But then we were able to negotiate, meet halfway, and then make the deal go through. So it's important to know that some of these deals sometimes can turn sideways, and you just have to know how to navigate through them to get the deal done. Even though we're going to be making, $10,000 less, we still going to be making money in the deal, right? So it's still a win. Yeah. So this is great. So this is how partnerships can work. I've never physically met Taylor yet. We haven't met physically yet. We've just been talking on the phone and texting. This is why it's great if you go into different markets all across the country. you can search for people that are in that market that are investors, and you can JV and partner up with them and get those deals sold, you know. And I actually do national stuff too. So I just closed a deal in Texas, and I did the same thing you did, Taylor. I reached out to someone over there with boots in the ground, and then they facilitated the transaction for me. On Wednesday, I have an appointment in LA. Same situation. I got someone out there going an appointment out for me. So it's
Nice.
key to, and this is the amazing thing about the internet, that it's been here for a while, but we got to utilize these tools that we have. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all this other stuff that we can reach out to people. Biggerpockets.com is a good one to find investors. So all these avenues that you can use to your advantage to look for, if you have a lead in that particular market, you can go out there and crush it.
Agreed.
But yeah, this is great, man. Any advice you would give any viewers as far as marketing or negotiation, or someone that's starting out there? Any advice?
Yeah, I definitely would. It's never, ever, 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 ever quit and really work really hard. Like, it's going to take, it's going to take hard work, but if you work hard and you don't give up, you're, you'll make it. And I think a lot of people set low expectations, like you're not going to be able to get, put 10 bandit signs out and get a deal, or it has to be consistent. I think that's the best word for it, is consistency. Massive action, imperfect action. You're not going to be able to figure everything out before you get started. You have to get started, not know what you're doing, and find your way as you're going. Just like when you're driving when it's foggy, you can't see more than 20 feet ahead of you, but you keep going, and
Right.
then you eventually get to your destination. So
Right.
that's very important, is
Yeah.
just consistency. Whatever marketing channel you use will work. You
Yeah.
just need to be consistent and take massive imperfect action.
Yeah.
And don't get the shiny object syndrome. Don't, like, yeah, I did put out bandit signs, but don't do more than 2 marketing channels until you master it. I would definitely recommend just one.
Yeah.
And
And don't quit right away. Like, if one marketing channel doesn't work, I mean, I always tell people, wait at least 90 days to consistently do that marketing channel, wherever it is, at least 90 days, until see if it works. If it doesn't work, then great, then you move on after 90 days. That's my model. Anything that I do, marketing, anything.
That's solid. Yeah.
So yeah, awesome, man. Well, I appreciate your time, taking the time to doing this vlog with me.
Yeah.
And we're probably gonna close more deals. If you have stuff up here, let me know. Anybody that has deals in Mass, call me. Anybody that has deals in New York, what was the area again?
It's Mid Hudson Valley, so we're about 70 miles north of the city.
Mid Hudson Valley, call Taylor. He'll hook you up. He's done deals there before, so he's a real investor, a real wholesaler. So reach out to him. All right, guys. God bless. Talk soon. Later, Taylor.
All right, man. It's fun. Thanks.